Earthborn. The Iron Path, Chapter 1. The Warning. When the Eridani emissaries landed on Earth, they came not in conquest, but with an offer. Join the Accord. Share in our knowledge. Evolve with us. They underestimated humanity. In the aftermath of the Great Burn, what Earth's children now called the Third World War, humanity had rebuilt itself not with the help of alien saviors, but with steel, sweat, and stubborn grit. They didn't ask the stars to notice them. They carved their way there with railguns and rocketry. And so, when the emissaries came, cloaked in light and promises, Earth's response was simple. Thank you. But no. They left peacefully, or so it seemed. Weeks later, solar stations began vanishing. Mining outposts on Europa fell silent. The Martian colony at New Ares was reduced to irradiated slag. That was the true offer. Surrender or be erased. The Accord didn't know it yet, but they had awoken a monster. Chapter 2. The Iron Path Admiral Kira Vaughn stood on the command deck of the ESV Revenant, her synthetic right eye cycling between infrared, LIDAR, and the ship's wide-band threat display. Accord fleet has massed at Lagrange Point 2, her second-in-command, Lieutenant Kamara reported. 84 vessels, majority are drone carriers. Kira didn't flinch. Activate Iron Path Protocol. The Iron Path wasn't just a strategy. It was a doctrine. A story passed from battle-hardened veterans to the next generation. A code of asymmetric warfare perfected through decades of human tragedy and tactical brilliance. The Revenant's AI, codenamed Orchid, flickered into being on the holotable. Path confirmed. Node-to-node disruption initializing. Rail piercers prepped. Subspace beacon array engaging in 6 seconds. In bunkers under the Sahara. In silos beneath ruined Beijing. In floating arsenals disguised as mining rigs orbiting Ganymede. Earth's retaliation unfolded like a symphony of silent thunder. Drones armed with quantum disruption payloads activated. Stealth frigates emerged from grav-shadowed orbits. Infantry pods launched toward enemy ships, manually piloted by men and women whose grandparents once fought with knives in irradiated trenches. They called it the Iron Path. It had no retreat, only victory, or extinction. Chapter 3. First Blood. The first blow was not a ship-to-ship barrage. It was silence. When the Accord's comms went down, they assumed interference. When their navigational AI began speaking Earth languages, they assumed hacking. When their ships turned on each other, they realized it was something worse. Earth had adapted. Faster than anyone expected. Faster than was rational. Kira watched as telemetry poured across the screens. The Accord lost 27% of their fleet in the first 90 seconds. Orchid reported. Probability of total collapse exceeds 88%. No, not yet, Kira muttered. They'll try to escalate. Kamara, what do we see on the outer sensors? Subspace rifts opening. 6 carriers inbound. The Accord had brought reinforcements, and Earth had brought something else. Orchid dimmed the lights and initialized Protocol Genesis, a swarm of AI-guided smart drones developed in the icy wrecks of Pluto, designed to detonate themselves inside enemy ships and rebuild from the pieces. A fleet that consumed. A fleet that learned. Chapter 4. The old soldier's commander, Roshan Wills, had no medals, no fanfare, and no illusions. He'd buried more friends than he cared to count, and still carried a rifle he built in a scrapyard 17 years ago. He led the Black Ember unit, a drop team of 6 former engineers turned tactical saboteurs, straight into the heart of an Accord mothership. Get to the core, he growled. We take the ship, or we die trying. The corridors were sterile, shining, humming with alien precision. His boots, wrapped in electromagnetic mesh, stuck to every surface. The Ember crew advanced like shadows. One by one, they placed molecular destabilizers near the fuel nodes. When they reached the central AI chamber, Roshan looked back. We're not here to win. We're here to remind them what humans do when cornered. He pulled the trigger on his pulse bomb, and then there was nothing but fire. Chapter 5. Collapse. The Accord fleet buckled. Not all at once, not evenly. They were a machine, and like all machines, they failed where pressure found weakness. But Earth's forces, they weren't a machine. They were organisms, changing, improvising, evolving, faster than the Accord's doctrine could compute. Back on Earth, millions watched the battle unfold through delayed transmissions. Old veterans saluted, children cried, politicians argued, but all knew one truth. This was no longer just a war. It was a declaration, and the stars were listening.